Silence, you flashy fools. Today I'm going to show you how to trace your images in Google Sketchup. I'm going to do that in 3 parts. First, we are going to upload our image into Google Sketchup. Next, we're going to trace that image using the drawing tools. And after that, we're going to save/export STL files so that we can use them in other projects. Let's start by uploading our image. First thing we're going to do, go to this top left, click this folder, you're going to insert, go to your computer, find your image. For the image that you are finding, make sure that it has a clear background. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to trace it. You also want to choose something that does not have too many intricate shapes and lines in it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lot of work. When you get better at tracing, then you can go for that. But for now, just keep it simple. Do yourself a favor. When you get your image in, what you're going to do is you're going to click and make sure that it is set up in the X and Y axis face down like the way you see it here. I used O to orbit on top and look down because this is where we are going to be doing our tracing. Now let's get to the actual tracing. One rule of thumb that I always follow is that you're going to go from the inside out, meaning I start in the inside of the object, trace those things, and then move outward. Since this is a circle in the middle, I'm going to grab my circle tool and just create a circle that's going to match. Remember, when you're tracing, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be close enough so that when we zoom out, you can tell that is the shape that we intended initially. Now I'm going to use my line tool for all my straight edges, and I'm going to use my 2-point arc for anything that has a curve. As I go around, I'm using 2 fingers on the trackpad to just zoom in and out to get the best angles possible while I'm doing this. Now that I've gotten to this curve, I'm going to use my 2-point arc, second one from the top, and I'm just going to match the curvature of my image as best as possible. As you're going around, you'll see SketchUp tries to do its best to infer where you want to go, but use your navigational tools to get yourself in the best position to trace your object. Going around, make sure you're matching up each of the endpoints. Hover first so they know what you're talking about. If you see this little blue line, that essentially means that they're trying to guess where you want it to go. That is a good thing. Don't worry about it. Keep going until you get all the way to the end and you match all of your lines from endpoint to the initial endpoint that you started with. Depending on the complexity of your image, it'll take a little longer, but once you get good at it, it goes by fairly quick when you know what you're doing. For this last part, I'm going to do the entirety of the eye. And this is going to form an image on the, or I should say a surface on the outside, right there. Once you have all your surfaces, what I typically do is I'll delete the image from below. So select the image and push backspace. And now I can start looking at the different surfaces that I want to create elevations for. So this inside, I'm actually going to delete that. And then I'm going to push pull using P and just make 2 elevations of my surfaces. And now I'm done. For the last part, I'm going to export my STL file. To do that, go to the top folder, export STL. And you are now done downloading your STL file of your 3-dimensional model.